as our objectives as we see on the screen. Moving the active cell in a worksheet. Selecting a group of cells. Searching for data. Zoom, preview, print a worksheet. Close a workbook and exit Excel. Our first objective for today is moving the active cell in a worksheet. The easiest way to change the active cell in a worksheet is to move the pointer to the cell you want to make active and click. You can display different parts of the worksheet by using the mouse to drag the scroll bar to another location. You can also move the active cell to different parts of the worksheet by using the keyboard arrow movement keys or the go to command. There's no illustration for now. However, when we go to the Excel screen, I will remind you of what we are reading now. Move to our next slide. Moving the active cell in a worksheet continues. Keys for moving the active cell in a worksheet. There are keys on the keyboard that enables you to move cells to places that you want to make active. The keyboard is not on the screen, but if you are before your computer, there are keys I'd like you to notice. This portion of the table is your desire you want to perform. This portion is the action or key you have to strike to perform these actions. So let's consider that. If we look on our keyboard, there are movements key there, movement keys. There's a key that has on it an arrow that is pointed to the left. Another one is opposite, is pointed to the right. There's another one that is pointing north or upwards. There is one that is pointing south or downwards. So those keys are referred to as the movement keys. And so let's see their functions. To move left one column, to do that you have to strike or press the left arrow key once. To move right one column, you also press the right arrow key once. Just strike it one time. I hope you are in your Excel screen. If you are not there, open Excel and be at a blank screen. You can experience what we are reading now if you pay keen attention and follow the instruction. Let's move on. If you want to move up one arrow, you strike the up arrow key once. You want to move down one row, that was one row, sorry, I said arrow. If you want to move up one row or move down one row, you press the down arrow key. If you want to move to the first cell of the row, you press the home key. You look on your keyboard, there's a key there that is written on the HOMEKEY. It's referred to as the home key. It's just about around the same movement keys area. To move to cell A1, you can also press Control Home plus the home key. There's a key on your keyboard. You have the left control key, and we also have the right control key. But it's better to use your two hands or your both hands in some combination of keys. So we use our left control key along with our right hand, and we strike or press the home key. Hold it down, keep it down, and press the home key. It will take you to cell A1. That is to say, it will take you to the beginning of the cell. If you want to move to the last cell of the column and row that contain data, you press Control and Y, the N key. There's a key there, is written the END. Just as you have HOME, you have END. If you want to move up one window, you press the page up key. On the right, or you look on your screen there, you will see page up key. Page up. You may not see key, but you will see page up. Just strike that page up and it will take you one window. If you want to move down windows, you press page down. That takes us to our next slide. Selecting a group of cells. A range is a group of selected cells. Before we select a group of cells, we have to give some definition of some words like range. So we say a range is a group of selected cells. The range is identified by its range reference. For example, A3 to C3 is a range, to C5 is a range. In an adjacent range, all cells touch each other and form a rectangle. To select an adjacent range, click a cell and drag your pointer to the cell in the opposite of the range and release the mouse button. A non-adjacent cell includes two or more adjacent range and selected cells. To select a non-adjacent range, select the first adjacent range or cell, press the control key as you select the other cell or range you want to include, and then release the Control key and the mouse button. Gradually, we will illustrate to you, but let's move on to the next. Searching for data. The find command locates data in a worksheet, which is particularly helpful when a worksheet contains a large amount of data. You can use the find command to locate words or parts of the words. The replace but command is an extension of the find command. Whenever you are searching for a word, probably you may want to replace that word or that phrase with another, and so it brings us to replace command. That's why they say it's an extension of the find command. When you find, it's almost like must, that you must replace. Replacing data substitutes new data for the data that the find command locates. So when you find, you replace. Move to the next slide. Searching for data continues. These are some options we need to look at or to learn, or search options. So these are the search options, and they specify these. Search option: find what, replace what, format, within, search, look in, match case, match entire cell contents. When you use such an option, find what, it specifies what? The data to be located. Replace with replaces the data to insert in place of the located data. Format, the format of the data you want to find or replace. There must be a format. Within represents whether to search the worksheet or the entire workbook. Remember, the worksheet is just a sheet. The workbook comprises of several sheets. So when you say within a book, you are searching for something. So we say search. We say search. Search the direction to search across row or down column. So when you search, you either searching row or you searching column. Look in. When you do that, you may want to work whether to search cell content or values or formulas. You may be searching the contents of the cells or values of the cell or formulas. So you say look in to find these. So we say match case, whether the search must match the capitalization you use for the search data. When you are searching a case, at times you may want to put it in lowercase or you want to put it in uppercase, and it will be searching as such. Match entire cell content. So you say whether the search should locate cells whose content exactly matches the search content. We will be performing those. Well, let's read the literature and follow it. We'll move to the next slide. Zoom in worksheet. You can change the magnification of a worksheet by using the zoom control on the status bar. The default magnification for a worksheet is 100%. For a closer view of a worksheet, click the zoom in button or drag the zoom slider to the right to increase the zoom percentage. To reduce the zoom of a worksheet, click the zoom out button, which is negative, the minus button, or drag the zoom slider to the left to reduce the zoom percentage. We will be demonstrating that, but let's move to the next slide. And this is the demonstration I was referring to. Zoom in a worksheet or zoom dialog box and control. If you are at your Excel screen, look on the lower right hand corner. You'll be looking for this. It may not be green, it may be blue. If you are fortunate, it's green. This is what we are referring to as the zoom button. So when you zoom in, you are using the plus. Zoom in. When you click on that, it stretches or it enlarges your screen. Likewise, this will decrease the look of your screen. So these are the various sizes of zoom. Zoom the worksheet so that the sheet range fits the worksheet window. Fit selection, that's what it does. But these are specific, and it says 25, 50. I would say the normal zoom is 100. So looking at this screen, now you can see what we are referring to as the zoom. So we'll move on to the next slide. Previewing and printing a worksheet. We're not going to print a worksheet now. Rather, we're going to preview, but we will also teach you how to print or what to do to print. You can print a worksheet by clicking File tab, File on the ribbon, and then clicking Print in the navigation pane to display the Print tab. The Print tab enables you to choose print setting. The Print tab also allows you to preview your pages before printing. We'll move on to the next slide. Choosing a workbook and existing Excel. You can choose a workbook by 1. Clicking the File tab on the ribbon, and then 2. Click Close in the navigation pane. Excel will remain open, as I earlier showed you when we were looking at parts of the Excel screen. I'll show you the two X's that closes the file and Excel. but I will remind you in time to come. To exit the worksheet, I told you you can close the file, but you don't exit the workbook or the Excel screen. So we say to exit the workbook, click exit command from the navigation panel, and the worksheet will close, but Excel will still be open.